One of the high points of any graduation ceremony is the commencement address. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce to you today's commencement speaker, Dr. Wayne Wolfson. Dr. Wolfson is currently the president of NCMIC Group and National Chiropractic Mutual Holding Company. He is a graduate of the Palmer College of Chiropractic following his graduation from the University of Tennessee, where he currently serves as a member of the Dean's Advisory Board and its Executive Committee. Additionally, he has been practicing in Central Florida since 1978. He has served in various leadership positions, being past chairman of the Florida Board of Chiropractic Medicine, director of the National Board of Chiropractic Examiners, and past president of the Federation of Chiropractic Licensing Board. He has served as a college site team examiner for the Council on Chiropractic Education, Commission on Accreditation, and is a fellow of the American College of Chiropractors. Dr. Wolfson was named Florida Chiropractor of the Year in 2002 by the Florida Chiropractic Association and received the Distinguished Service Award from the Florida Board of Chiropractic Medicine in 2005. He was honored with the George Artivisan Award for Meritorious Service from the Federation of Chiropractic Licensing Boards in 2007, and in 2010 received the Paul M. Tullio Award for Distinguished Service to the National Board of Chiropractic Examiners. Active in his community, Dr. Wolfson is the past chairman of the Orlando Chamber of Commerce and was founding board member of the Florida Bank of Commerce. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Wayne Wolfson to the podium. Dr. Wolfson, sir.
Wow, what a day. Pretty exciting. As Dr. Meston said, I'm Wayne Wolfson, and I have the distinct pleasure of serving as president of National Chiropractic Mutual Insurance Company, also known as NCMIC or NCMIC. It seems like just yesterday that I was seated in a similar position as you, anxious to get out into practice. Now, some 4 decades later, I can tell you with authority that it was totally worth the investment of time, money, and heart that you've made. I can tell you also with sincerity that you will love your career. I'd like to take a moment to thank your president, Dr. Meston, all the trustees, including your chair, Dr. Lizio, the deans, your parents, and you, the graduates, for this opportunity. I'm here today because so many who've touched my lives have been connected with Northeast College of Health Sciences. In fact, I was headed to optometry school when Dr. Val Pasqua, one of your 3 current trustee emeritus, suggested I stop by his office. I was immediately impressed by how much he loved what he was doing and how connected he was with his patients. That was the day I found my way to chiropractic, and I've never looked back. I grew up in New York. My dad served as a consumer member on the New York State Chiropractic Board in its early years, and my parents' chiropractor, Dr. Richard Carnevale, another former NYCC, was Dr. Carnevale, another former NYCC trustee. When I needed an associate for my chiropractic practice in Florida, Dr. Nietzsche put me in touch with a terrific NYCC graduate. Dr. Louis Vera and I practiced together for 10 years and were still great friends. Not only is he a successful practitioner, but he now serves on the Palmer, Florida faculty. My ties to your college are numerous. I'm proud to count faculty and current and former trustees as friends as well as colleagues, having served in regulation, testing, and accreditation with many of them. You may never remember what I say today, but hopefully you remember how you felt, and you should feel extremely proud. During your time here as students, not only have you coped with a 100-year pandemic, but also enjoyed the 100th anniversary of the school. Many men and women have found their direction under its guidance. Sometimes you find your path, sometimes it finds you. This insight from Max Brooks reminds us that we're all on a journey. Each choice you've made in your life conspired to bring you here today, to this moment, to Seneca Falls, to Northeast College of Health Sciences. Your name is written indelibly in the Columbia, NYCC, and now Northeast story. Let's look at that story and the leaders who've enabled you to be here today. Your school was born as the Columbia Institute of Chiropractic in 1919. If you were among the early graduating classes, practice was tolerated but illegal in New York. In fact, 12,000 chiropractors in the United States went to jail 15,000 times in the first half of the last century. Organized medicine schemed to catch you practicing medicine without a license. Detectives were hired to investigate chiropractic associations, to investigate some of your new patients who might be undercover spies. Nevertheless, the public was determined to see chiropractors. Jack Dempsey, the legendary boxer, was a chiropractic patient. Obviously, we know this as HIPAA was not yet in effect. The New York Giants baseball team, which later moved to San Francisco, received chiropractic care. When one famous chiropractor was released from jail, 7,000 people flooded Madison Square Garden to show their respect, support, and solidarity. Your founder was Dr. Frank Dean. Before the Great War, he had earned a Bachelor of Medicine degree at the University of Warsaw, Poland. He continued his studies in Germany, France, Russia, and Austria before traveling in Africa, Central and South America to observe healing techniques. He returned to the United States to earn his Doctor of Chiropractic degree from the Eclectic College of Chiropractic in 1919, the year after World War I ended. In the months after he graduated, Dr. Dean opened not one, but two chiropractic colleges a few blocks from each other in downtown Manhattan near Central Park. If you were one of his early Columbia students, you would have described him as 28 years old, erratic, unpredictable, and disorganized, standing about 5 feet tall and powerfully built. He was strong, smart, and confident. You might have gone on to teach at Columbia, as many of his graduates did, and you would have taught alongside faculty recruited from all over the country. He paid generously, subsidizing the school from his own private practice. You would have engaged in lively discussions about whether the curriculum should be 36 months as Dr. Dean proposed, or 24 months as advocated by the Palmers. Should the program teach modalities? Which of the two national associations which began to accredit colleges should you join? When Dr. Dean decided to open a sister school in Maryland where practice was legal, would you have joined the effort or tried to stop him from taking the best equipment and most of the Columbia Library with him? If you were in private practice, you probably did well, although chiropractic was still illegal in New York. But you had no malpractice coverage until 1946 because no one would insure us. NCMIC was started then by chiropractors to take care of our own, a motto which continues to be the core principle of NCMIC's existence. If you remained in New York, you would have seen 38 chiropractic colleges come and go in this state alone. Columbia, NYCC, Northeast was the only one to endure a century of attacks by organized medicine, economic depressions, and infighting within the profession itself. Until Deauville was accredited in 2007, yours was the solitary chiropractic college survivor in New York. Why and what makes this institution so strong? Let's take a look at your college's next chapter under the leadership of Dr. Napolitano. It's now the early 1960s. The original GI Bill had run out in 1956, and educational programs throughout the United States were struggling to enroll students. Without the backing of state universities, private nonprofit colleges were hit particularly hard. But good news was just around the corner for Columbia students. Dr. Ernest G Politano was sitting in the president's chair. He had assumed the position in 1959 following the unprecedented death of Dr. Dean, who'd been there for 39 years. Dr. Napolitano graduated from Palmer and then served as a medic in World War II, earning the Silver Star and Purple Heart. He had been dean at Brooklyn's Atlantic States Chiropractic Institute, with which Columbia merged soon after he became president. Dr. Napolitano and the New York chiropractic community united, and in 1963, Governor Nelson Rockefeller signed the law making it legal to practice as a chiropractor in New York, provided you graduated from a school recognized by the State Board of Regents. Regretfully, no New York chiropractic programs were accredited by the Regents, as none had the requisite $500,000 in assets. So what was the solution? The profession, including NCMIC, urged your program and the Chiropractic Institute of New York to merge. Talks began, and a new possible campus in upstate New York was identified. Unfortunately, it all collapsed because the two schools could not agree on the number of trustees each would have on the new governing board. Had that occurred, you could be sitting today on a campus with 80 acres rather than 300, and your classes would have been in remodeled Army Depot warehouses. You'd be 169 miles further east, and no doubt warmer weather being 10 miles further south. And you would have learned to spell Schenectady. A MIFT Chiropractic Institute of New York community took its resources and alumni and merged with National Chiropractic College near Chicago, which had been busy acquiring at least 16 other chiropractic programs. This provided the strength and assets to qualify for New York Regents accreditation in 1971. Understandably, your college was irritated that the first chiropractic program accredited by the New York Board of Regents was in Illinois, and your alumni responded by contributing generously to Columbia. At the same time, significant intraprofessional conflict divided the profession as two chiropractic accrediting organizations with differing views of educational standards were vying for recognition by the federal government. The Council on Chiropractic Education finally emerged as the sole chiropractic accreditor. By 1979, your school was fully accredited by both New York State and CCE and had been renamed New York Chiropractic College. Enrollment surged, and if you were in the class of 1985, you would have seen an entirely new campus built on Long Island with the first of several public clinics established. Your school was the first chiropractic college to gain regional institutional accreditation, complying with middle state standards, policies, and procedures associated with higher education programs. The faculty was strong, the programs robust, and the school provided a premier education. In your final year, you would have grieved the death of Dr. Napolitano, who was and remains a giant in the profession. No doubt you would have marched in his funeral procession, an event so huge that the city closed the Long Island Expressway to accommodate mourners. Fast forward to the campus you're on today. By the late 1980s, your college had outgrown its Long Island facility. The trustees, which at that time included my dad, looked at empty warehouses and vacant schools, but nothing seemed right until they found the Eisenhower campus in Seneca Falls. Dr. Ken Padgett, a politically active local chiropractor, agreed to serve as president for 6 months while the college made the move in 1991. Thankfully, he stayed a bit longer and is now your chancellor. Here's what one faculty member said about the move. We moved 350 miles to another part of New York State, but it might well have been to another planet. We were a small commuter school on 50 acres with 3 buildings. We became a regional institution with a 300-acre campus, a dozen or more buildings, drawing students from all over the country overnight. Our enrollment doubled in 2 years, then kept going. Dr. Padgett's motto was tradition in transition. He put his experience in chiropractic regulation, testing, and politics to good use as he oversaw both new construction and major academic and technology advances. The secret of his success: I know how to get really good people, he often said, and I trust them to do their jobs. Lance Blackshaw, Margaret Finn, Diane Dixon, Beth Donahue, Daniel Cannelly, Lloyd Henby are just a few of the many NYCC legends who found a home under Dr. Padgett's leadership. The next time transition NYCC presidents was well planned in advance. Dr. Padgett continued to offer his expertise as chancellor when the trustees chose Dr. Frank Nietzsche, a 1978 alumnus and longtime faculty member, to assume the role of president. With a rich background as a professor for clinical diagnosis and chiropractic technique, he was also a clinician and dean of postgraduate and continuing education. Your college charter had to be amended as NYCC grew from offering a single first professional degree to adding Bachelor of Professional Studies and 6 new Master of Science degrees. Innovative use of technology brought new ways of teaching and learning to your college, as well as a strong and early presence in social media. A genuine commitment to teamwork and collaboration, as well as brilliant strategic planning skills, were at the heart of Dr. Nietzsche's success. Over the course of his 17 years as president, the key word was partnership, these being formed with the DoD, the VA, hospitals, clinics, research programs, and other educational institutions. 2 of the capable people Dr. Nietzsche worked with were Drs. Clay McDonald and Bill Morgan, who are now presidents of other universities with chiropractic programs, no doubt being influenced by Dr. Nietzsche. This brings us to today. You're graduating from an outstanding program, rich in history and guided by amazing leaders. Your president, Dr. Mike Meston, has an extraordinary academic background in education and management, as well as in chiropractic and radiology. His fascination with using diagnostic imaging tools to see beyond the surface of the human body is paralleled by his interest in seeing deep into your college and its people to better guide it to its full fulfillment. Under his enthusiastic and skilled leadership, your school is increasing its affiliations, embracing a multidisciplinary faculty, and innovating in its communication capabilities. Your new name, Northeast College of Health Sciences, reflects both the connected and expanded nature of your program. NCMIC and I can't wait to see what's next. This is a brief history of the program from which you now graduate. It's more than a list of names, greater than the bricks and mortar so often outgrown. Cherish the stories. They form the basis for the path you'll now take. Rest assured, it's a great time to be a doctor of chiropractic. You may choose to be in private practice, in research, or in a multidisciplinary setting. You may focus on diagnostic imaging, pediatrics, geriatrics, orthopedics, or neurology. You may specialize in treating active duty military or veterans, animals, professional athletes, or local high school kids. Or one day, you may be right here yourself, teaching the next generation of Northeast students. In closing, I urge you to follow the example of your college leaders. Give generously to your school and the profession. Be a joiner, as all of us are much stronger together than alone. Remember, chiropractic is a relatively young career. Every person who meets you forms an opinion of our profession. Practice ethically with curiosity and compassion, and keep learning. Make connections, cultivate mentors, and form alliances and partnerships. Try new things, adapt and persist, and thank the people who've made this day possible. Not too long ago, I had the chance to visit in Florida with Dr. Val Pasqua, the NYCC trustee who got me into chiropractic. I wanted to thank him for starting me on my path. We reminisced about his days as one of the bodybuilders of the golden ages in the 1940s before he became a chiropractor, and how his son and grandson both became chiropractors. He's currently 95 years old, still sharp as a tack, and still living the chiropractic lifestyle. Your trustee emeritus would remind all of us to sit up straight, eat well, exercise regularly, and most important, love your profession. Congratulations, good luck, and many thanks.